Dance games have been a popular form of social gaming since 1998, when Konami released Dance Dance Revolution game. Originally only for social game intended, dance games were subsequently found to be a viable form of fitness, and Norway adopted dance gaming as an official sport first in the world. Finland followed second at 2007. The first European Championships were held in Norway in 2004, and a couple of years later the first World Cup was held also in Norway. The game tournament's use is In the Groove 2, developed by Rockstar Games in 2005, which is a sequel to In the Groove, released in 2004.
The basic premise was we had a bunch of players, which was us at the time. Actually ended up being a smaller group of us that really wanted to see dance games continue. And dance games were, especially for 4-panel, were over. We even had friends that wrote letters to the companies that made them and got letters back saying, sorry, we're not going to make arcade again, ever, it's done. And we thought, well, we want to see the community continue, we want to see dance games continue, what can we do to do that? And so we started off in our volunteer time on the side, just working on this, and Chris Stanford and Glenn Maryland, who did most of the coding for Stepmania. Glenn Maynard, sorry. We got together with them and we started trying to develop a dance game just to keep it alive, to keep this whole, it wasn't just a video game that was going to come and go, this was a whole sport more or less. And we did our best to make that continue, and I think we did a pretty successful job with that.
Yeah, we started off with kits, with the In the Groove 1 version, and the main reason behind the kits at the time was that we knew that a lot of people had dance cabinets out there that were already being used. And so we figured it'd be an easier way for them to pick up this game and give it a try. But eventually that just started taking off so well for us that then we partnered with Andamiro originally, and we started making the actual In the Groove 2 Dedicab. And I think almost every player who has played the 4-panel game today knows the quality of those cabinets. And it can't be repeated. It's outstanding. The mechanics that ITG puts on the hardware is just an insane amount. It's so demanding on the hardware, and I don't think there's a better cabinet to date for 4-panel play. And we keep waiting to see one, and there hasn't been one yet.
Fans around the world accepted In the Groove with great enthusiasm, and it is still very popular dance game in the world. Although official development of the ITG ended a few years ago, fans keep the game alive by creating more step charts and themes for the ITG.
Yeah, obviously when the court case came up between Konami Entertainment and Rockstar Games, there was no actual official court case. It never actually went to a lawsuit situation. Basically, there was an agreement between both parties, and one of those agreements was just to stop producing the game. So Rockstar Games can no longer produce the In the Groove series. But right before that happened, we were able to release R21, which basically gave the players the power to continue the game and make their own steps and their own songs. And it's just continued beautifully. The players have continued the vision that we started with In the Groove, and it's so neat to see today. I mean, we have players playing 13s, 14s, 15s, at least what they define as 13, 14, or 15s, and they're really continuing the ITG spirit, and it's great to see that.
You got to remember that the whole In the Groove project was a bunch of players making a game for players. And so the fact that players are continuing with that spirit and keeping it alive by making new content for the game, it's exactly what we had intended. We're really happy that it keeps on going. And the whole point of the In the Groove series was to keep this community and keep this genre of games alive. And they're still here today, so we must have done something right.
Yeah.
Kyle Ward and Chris Foy, men behind ITG, still work with dance games. They were a big part of developing the popular 5-panel dance game Pump It Up Pro, and recently they both joined Positive Gaming to develop new 4-panel dance game iDance.
So while we were actually manufacturing the group series, we actually got pretty friendly and familiar with Andamiro from all the shows. And I remember there were a lot of periods of time where we would talk to Andamiro, they'd come to our booth, we'd go to their booth. Right around the time where we started making the Dedicab, we actually had plans to make, while ITG was still going, we had plans to eventually work on a pump software for them that we thought we had a different vision that might benefit the Pump series. And so one of the bases behind the Pump Pro series was to get players who wouldn't normally play 5-panel into 5-panel. And so there's so many cool moves that you can do in a 5-panel format versus the 4-panel format. And they are different, but Chris and I have really grown to love the 5-panel format. And so the basis behind it was just to get people interested in a 5-panel game. So we did a lot of the same kind of mentality that we had behind the Group series. We put more westernized music in there. We took some of the best songs ever from the entire Pump It Up series. And Andamiro, it was just great to collaborate with Andamiro and work with them on that. And so, you know, what resulted was just Pump Pro, and I think it's a great product today. I continue to see players try the game, and then they get into 5-panel afterwards, and it's just so neat to see that, because it's Pump is a lot of fun.
Cabinet's amazing as well. The content, you know, we really tried to make it friendly for people to do the crossover from 4-panel to 5-panel. So we have content that's written just for those types of players. Meanwhile, we also have content written for the classic 5-panel players that like a little more twisting and movement around the pads. And
yeah, a lot of the charts that we designed for the game, they kind of complemented the original Korean team's steps. So we tried to maintain, you know, an easy progression for someone who played ITG. Maybe they were familiar with a certain song, so we tried to do something familiar so they wouldn't be completely lost with the 5-panel format. And I think when we sit back and analyze it, I think that came across pretty well.
Although dance games are popular around the world, dance gaming as a sport is still very little organized. Finland has taken a big step into that matter by creating Finnish Dance Gamer Association in 2006. One of the main goals of this association is to promote dance gaming as a sport for new players.
We've been for some time now official sports in Finland, and we have a lot of active players, a few hundred players who play really actively and take part in the community. And then we all have thousands and thousands of home players who play home and might sometimes visit our website and they watch the active community, even though they don't actually take part in our events and other things that we hold. We have tournaments every month for different levels of players, and a few times a year we hold larger events for almost 100 people.
Until now, the World and European Championships was organized by Swedish company Positive Gaming, but this year the Finnish Dance Gamer Association joined as part of organizing team.
Actually, me and a couple of other guys from the Finnish Dance Gamer Association started planning to holding the European Championships this year in Finland, because we thought that the Positive Gaming team wasn't going to do that this year at all. Then actually later on, when we were almost ready with our preparations, Positive Gaming let us know that actually they still want to hold the championships, so then we started cooperating with them. And now I've been doing a lot of work with them, holding Skype meetings and being here, acting as a judge, pad repair and everything. And Vehnai from the Dance Gamer Association did a lot of work with the tournament software and stuff like that.
The tournament this year began at Thursday with Ironman competition, which was open for all players. This competition was not part of actual World Cup, and it was intended to gather players together and test their skills as a player. The tournament itself consisted of 3 different events: bar, no bar and double. Swedish players have always been very strong among male players, and this year both bar finalists, Kasu and Mandodo, came from Sweden.
Kazu is just, oh man, he's a machine. I he at first he got like he got off to a bad start, but then he's just started dominating. It's amazing. He's one sick player. Mandato is pretty good too. I think if Mandato gets more live experience, live tournament experience, then he'll be a really good player. Yeah, but Kasu, nobody can beat Kasu.
The champion was determined first with King of the Hill segment, and then top 16 players competed at single elimination portion until finally there was only 2 best players. The final match was played best of 3 system, which meant that first player to win 3 songs was winner. For bar event, both finalists were very even and champion had to be determined with random songs. Ultimately, it was Kazu who fought his way through random songs and became new champion.
Yeah, I'm pretty satisfied. As I said earlier, I was really unexpected to win the singles one. I thought it would be like top 5, but then I won. It was really crazy.
Women's bar competition was held right after men's. Last year's champion, Lauma from Latvia, was undefeated again this year. Final match was still very even, and like men's competition, the winner had to be determined with random songs. But Lauma managed to win both random songs against Rapunzel from USA and renewed her bar championship.
It was really tense, and I wasn't expecting it to be that close, to be honest. And I still hadn't got used to the pads, and I got like few excellence and pad misses, and that was a bit scary. So I lost 2 songs in a row, and I wasn't sure at the beginning if I was going to win. But then I remember that song Vertex, and I just went for that, and then I understood that, yeah, I'm back in the game, and so it happened that I won.
On Friday, the players competed at no bar competition. For men's competition, Cedar from Sweden and Max Storm from Great Britain fought their way to the finals. And it was Cedar who was better by winning after 4 songs. For women's no-bar competition, the champion was determined by Rapunzel and S. Zung from Czech. Suffering from knee injury, Zung couldn't perform at her best, and Rapunzel took championship with straight 3 victories.
I'm happy with my performance today. I think that I took my time in a lot of rounds, and I was actually paying attention today, so I think I did well. Well, I've never played in a tournament with this many females, so I'm happy to see a lot of females playing on Expert and playing in tournaments this big, and just everyone coming out from all different countries. It's really great. There's a lot of great players, male and female.
The final events for tournament was double competitions. For men's final match, it was celebration time for Team Finland as current Finnish champion Jukka Boksi cleared his way into finals against Chris from Sweden. The final went all the way into random songs, but it was Chris who was better at both songs.
Well, it went pretty good for me in the singles, better than I thought it would be. So I'm pretty satisfied with that.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really did well.
So, and then of course doubles went good as well. I won it, so yeah, it was nice.
For previous tournaments, women's double competition has always been between Lauma and Zung, and this year was no exception. On this year's final match, as Zung beat first song, but Lauma managed to win next 3 songs and won the double competition and also became overall champion.
you get first and second. I don't know how many times it's happened now. Probably won't be the last time. Alright, one more cheer. Light them up. Boys.
After all events was completed, it was time to honor the overall winners. Sweden was in its own class at men's overall championships since Kazu was the champion, Cedar placed second and Chris placed third. Best Finnish male player was Jukeboxi, placing sixth.
Doubles went well, yeah, I was second there. Singles bar went well, 7th there, I'm happy with that. And on no bar I was 10th, which is good for me, I think. So overall I was 6th, which is right out of the prize money spots, but that's okay. I don't need the money, but it would have been nice to be top 5, for sure. But top 6th is really good still.
After awards was given away, it was time to close this year's tournament. What about next year?
You know, we don't know for sure at this point in time. I would be surprised if we didn't. It's been really great bringing everybody out here. World Championships, I always really like, but what I like more is just bringing everybody together. That's what it's really about. And it's even, you know, it's kind of an added bonus that while we're all together, we can also have these competitions. And these competitions are great.
Fun events afterwards.
Right, but mainly just bringing the whole community together and getting to spend time with all these people. That's what it's really all about, the friends that you make for life. And with that,
We met through Dance Games originally.
yeah, we met through Dance Games, and there's a couple that just got engaged last night, right after the event, that we'll be announcing later today. So it's just been incredible. With that in mind, the World Championships as a sport and as a competition has also been really amazing, watching players develop over the years, and the ability that they have. These are athletes. The stuff that they're playing so demanding. It takes you know, it takes marathon runners in order to have the type of cardio for this. There's people out there, their resting heart rates are in their 40s just from playing these dance games. You really work hard playing this stuff, and it's so much fun.
Well, I think it went very well. Last year was quite a pain. There were a lot of problems, and this year, with the help of the Finnish players and a larger Positive Gaming team and a lot of very dedicated people, we were able to do very well. We, of course, as always, there were some problems, but we got everything solved, and all the players were very happy.
Well, King of the Hill went quite well, in my opinion, but I think the difficulty needs to be higher so that players can show their best, because at 7 or 8, level 7 or 8 songs, like one excellent can give such a big difference. Like if you are first or third, or 2 excellents are gonna drag you to 5th place. So the songs should have been harder, but still. And about the single elimination, well, I do agree that it's true. Players should show their best, and single elimination is the way to prove it. But also there should be a factor that gives more opportunity players to mistake, because the pads sometimes they just happen and you can't find that there was a pad miss. So maybe if they put more songs into semifinals and finals, I think the system running like this is really good.
I think it's really, really good. I think Positive Gaming really improved the way they're organizing the place, the machines, the crew, the schedule, the rules. I think everything. I give like thumbs up on everything, really. So I think it's been great.
It's awesome. I've never been at a tournament that's this good.
Yeah.
It was so good. Everything was perfect. I can clearly say that. It was perfect. Nothing bad.
So far, anyway. So
yeah, so far.